Guys, straighten up everything. Martha Stewart is joining us now.
Gosh.
All right, there's a lot of pressure.
Here we go.
Martha, how are you?
How are you?
We're doing super great. We miss you and look forward to seeing you again soon. And I want to talk about your podcast in a second. But I actually have two questions for you that I've never really had a chance to ask you about. One is some advice, and then two is just a question. But first of all, I do like to cook, Martha, and I am a massive foodie. However, I struggle when I'm hosting a dinner party, 4 people, 5 people, I mean, very small. I cannot prepare the food and be the host at the same time. I have a great deal of anxiety when I'm trying to do both. Do you have any advice about that for me?
Well, yes. So sit your guests down at the counter and have a lot prepared ahead of time. I think most of our mistakes are that we're trying to do everything at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to have stuff to serve that's been prepared a little bit before the guests get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing you can do, I don't know what you like to cook, but you like to grill, or what's your favorite thing to do for a main course thing?
Honestly, I like an iron skillet. I like to use the skillet.
Oh.
Well, then that's fun to do in front of your guests and say, oh, everybody sit down. But how do you like your meat? Rare, medium, well done? And finish the last thing. But everything else is done. Your salads, your veggies, everything done. And make a menu that is doable. I
that's
fall
the
in the
thing.
same problem. I try to make too many things. I try to be too elaborate. And then I find myself concentrating on a recipe instead of concentrating on my guests. And that's where you run into the trouble you're talking about.
That's good advice, because I do think I need to do everything in the moment, but there's no point when it causes all that stress. Now, the other thing is, do you like hosting dinner parties? Because I know for me, I only like talking at work. Once I'm done with work, I'm not a great talker.
Well, then why are you having dinner parties? Go out.
That's not true. You were a great host.
But do you still enjoy hosting?
I work so hard. I work like you work, Ryan. Round the clock, and it's nice to sit down and let somebody else do the cooking. And here I am, the cook, talking, right?
right.
But I mean, I sometimes feel guilty that I'm not cooking more. I entertain maybe once a week, but then the rest of the nights, I'd like to just go and sit in my favorite Japanese restaurant and have the most delicious dinner with 2 or 3 or 4 friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I try to do. I mean, I try to go out for food that I wouldn't necessarily make myself. Mm-hmm. And at home, I have such a great garden. I have so many vegetables. I'll make a beautiful salad, maybe a soup, and maybe a pasta, and that's that. So, but it's trying to be everything to everybody is a little difficult. We're overreachers, Ryan.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a blessing and a curse. That's what my therapist, Tanya and Sissany here tell me.
Yeah, and everybody wants to sit down at a Ryan Seacrest dinner. Who wouldn't? But it is difficult. It's difficult.
They want to sit down once, but they usually don't want to come back for the next one. All right, Martha, let's get to this podcast. So you are doing the Martha Stewart podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. What are the things you want to talk about and some of the things you've already talked about, Martha?
Well, what's been fun, and now I'm really getting into it. At first I was a little bit nervous because the focus was Martha and friends,
Right.
And who are your friends? Who can you really talk to for an hour and a half? You want to get as much recorded as possible and then edit, so it's really tight and good and interesting. Mm-hmm. So I started off with an easy person for me to talk to, and that was Snoop. And he was a great interview because not only does he have a beautiful melodious voice, he also is funny. He's also very open to conversation, and he also kind of laughs and goes with the flow. So that was a good one. Then the next person I interviewed, I might be a little out of order, was Kris Jenner. Now, I really didn't know Kris Jenner terribly well when I interviewed her, but boy, was she fantastic. And she has a lot to say. And she will answer your questions, even if they're a little prying. So she's a great one. So and then the best interview of all, don't tell anybody I said this, but the best so far, Clive Davis.
Wow.
The
Now,
music
I-
record
I-
artist mogul. Sure.
Mhm.
He's the impresario of impresarios.
Well, people are talking about it. So check out Martha Stewart on her podcast. And Martha, thank you for coming on.
Can I mention one other thing that's exciting?
Sure.
And I hope you come. August 12th, we are opening my first restaurant called The Bedford in the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What's the concept?
It's a beautiful 200-seat restaurant that when you step into the front door, you're in Martha's house in Bedford.
Ooh.
Okay, Martha.
And the food is all my favorite food. You're going to love it. So when you're in Las Vegas doing whatever, please stop in. We would love to host you.
Well, I'm hosting the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, September 23rd and 24th. I am coming over that weekend for a lunch.
We're making it for you. I'll be there.
All right. Martha, you're the best. Great to chat with you. Continued success.
Bye, Ryan. Bye, Seth.
Bye.
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 Bye, Martha. Bye-bye.